Hello fellow YouTubers, welcome to this video. Now, I wanted to wait until after, like a few days after WrestleMania to really dive into this. And because I feel like people are really emotional right now, and they're blinded by how good WrestleMania seemed on paper. And if I'm going to badmouth the show, I don't think people are going to be receptive of it at first. So I'm going to badmouth WrestleMania. It wasn't a bad show by any stretch, but it had its flaws, and I feel like people just refuse to actually look at these flaws, and it kind of irritates me. So let's just dive in. Of course, as usual, I've got the match card up on my phone. That's why I'm looking at it. So we had Neville versus Austin Aries. For one, wrong guy won. Can we be honest here? Nobody, I don't want to say nobody. Most people didn't really want Neville to hold the belt any longer. At least I didn't. Aries was at least new, fresh. He was a face because, I don't fucking know. Two, the match really stunk. To be honest, I don't know if it was just that I wasn't interested in it, or if it just really did stink. I don't know. But when this match started, I was kind of meh. When it ended, I was like, finally. Just wasn't a good match overall. I mean, I watched this in a group with 5 people, and none of us really cared, which really is saying a lot. But more importantly than all that, because really all of that's all opinion-based, but I want to say here that they introduced the Cruiserweight division, and literally only 2 Cruiserweights mattered on this show. And I don't see why nobody complained about that. They complained that these 2 got put on the pre-show, which I didn't quite get, because it's like, well, you know what? You need a pre-show anyway. You got enough titles anyway. You don't need all of them on the main show. But here's my issue, because people like Jack Gallagher, Brian Kendrick, T.J. Perkins, Rich Swann, Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, people who have gotten TV time all year since Cruiserweights debuted, literally got nothing on this show. That, I think it was stupid. Really, there was nowhere else you could have really put them, which is why I still stand by my original opinion that it should have been the Cruiserweights in a ladder match, because then when they're really spot heavy, it made sense. But it's whatever. So we moved on to Mojo Rawley winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale. Man, that title is way too long. They really need to shorten it. I can't really complain about this, because we all know, realistically, this was just done so that we could get all the mid-card guys onto the show. The one thing I can complain about is, really, it didn't matter, and they never have seemed to matter. I'm hoping Mojo, uses this as a stepping stone, a la Baron Corbin, not go down the Cesaro and Big Show path. If he can at least snowball this into something important, then I can't complain about this at all. And frankly, the one other thing that I didn't like was that it ended with him and Jinder Mahal, because you knew Jinder Mahal wasn't going to win this, which was kind of silly, but I mean, it's whatever. I actually enjoy these matches, not that they're like anything special, but they serve their purpose, and I think they do a pretty good job at it. So we got the last pre-show match. We got Dean Ambrose versus Baron Corbin. Again, the wrong guy won. Now, see, I could get this if they thought that the match was going to be good, and they're like, well, Baron Corbin can survive this. But frankly, they really screwed the pooch here, because Baron Corbin kind of needed this. Just as much as Austin Aries needed his win, Baron needed this win. And the fact they just yanked that out from under him, it was stupid. And for the record, it's Tuesday. I just saw SmackDown. Having Baron get his win back in a street fight, dumb as fuck. You're seriously telling me you couldn't have put the IC title on Baron Corbin and then had the street fight and just let Dean Ambrose win that? The fact of the matter is, really, the entire match, Baron Corbin was dominating. And the fact of the matter is, for one, it was a boring match in general, because, I like Baron Corbin, but he's not a ring general, and Dean Ambrose fucking sucks. So the match wasn't going to be a technical masterpiece anyway. The fact they didn't have weapons, again, so many times on this card, they didn't do that. I don't get it. But this match, snoozer, wasn't that good. Wrong guy won, only using one fucking move. It was bullshit. Just straight up bullshit. as a Baron Corbin fan, and somebody who really doesn't like Dean Ambrose to begin with, this has really pushed me to hating Dean Ambrose. Even though I know it's not his fault, but at the same point, it's like, this is the bullshit where fans will hate Roman Reigns for things like this, and they won't complain when Dean Ambrose does it. That's why internet fans drive me nuts sometimes. But AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon. Now, I could complain that, frankly, AJ Styles, best wrestler on the planet. I think we all know this. At least, if you want to say like Kenny Omega, never seen Kenny Omega match, but if you want to say somebody like him, okay, I get it. You can at least agree, AJ Styles top 3, and he was forced to carry Shane to a decent match. And frankly, AJ Styles has carried plenty of people to a good to great match. I mean, there were good matches with Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns. There are people who he shouldn't have been able to pull to a good match that he has. But Shane McMahon was too much weight to carry. Just like last year. So at least last year, when it was Shane versus Undertaker, they let it be Hell in a Cell, so that way there was a no DQ stipulation involved. Why they didn't this year? I get it. The story is supposed to be, hey, this is AJ style. This is not Shane style. But that story works well if Shane is at least passable in the ring. And he isn't. And the fact of the matter is, this match being this close and for one lasting 20 and a half fucking minutes really just made AJ look not as good as he is. It was stupid. Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho. Okay, frankly, this match had the best build out of any match on this card. And the fact that, frankly, the match was boring doesn't help matters. Maybe it's the fact that it was buried in the mid-card and kind of gotten forgotten at the end. I don't know. All I know is this match really left a lot to be desired. Kevin Owens wins, which is the right decision, at least. I mean, since he got to the main card, they've been making the right decision. But it's just not a good match. This is the problem with the modern era where every guy can wrestle. Is, for one, the fans boo people like Roman Reigns and, to a lesser extent, Baron Corbin, who aren't as good as wrestlers, as in, i.e., they don't do flips and kicks, which is stupid, but okay, whatever, I can live with that sometimes. But then you have this other side effect where when you have two guys who are good in-ring and they don't put on a good in-ring match, they just put on a passable one, then it really doesn't work on a grand stage like WrestleMania. This has really, honestly, hurt Kevin Owens, at least in my eyes, because it's just not that good. Oh, it's the battery. Hopefully I can get enough battery left. Then we had the Raw Women's title match, Bayley, Charlotte, Sasha, Nia. Okay, my issue with this match is literally no finishers did anything. I don't even know if a finisher was used. I don't get the decision there. Whatever. The Raw Tag Team title match, this is the one I really want to complain about. I'm fine with everybody happy that this is a mark-out moment. The Hardys have came back. For one, spoiled a little bit. Okay, whatever. Two, and more importantly, the tag team division has been suffering for like 2 years now. And they're going to bring in the Hardys, who aren't going to help things. They really aren't. It doesn't make sense. Enzo and Cass needed this win. The club also needed this win. So, with giving the Hardy Boys the tag team titles, you have in essence said, fuck you guys, good luck working on your own. It's just stupid. Enzo and Cass, at this point, they're in the same boat as Carmella, where I say, they're not going to win. So, why would you care? Nikki Bella and John Cena versus Maurice and The Miz was next. Okay, frankly, this match kind of sucked. Okay, I've been a Miz fit since 2006, 2007, somewhere in there. Okay, literally Miz, one of the main reasons I have continued watching this long. And for one, I love the smarky-ass crowd, and I'm being serious when I say this, that were chanting things like, Miz is awesome. Thank you. For real, thank you. Because The Miz has been working his ass off for a decade now. And for 9 years, nobody in the hardcore community cared. They're like, he isn't a wrestler, he isn't a wrestler. And it was dumb as fuck. So, The Miz getting that reaction was good. The Miz should have won. Okay? Literally, the entire time, the build up to this, they have basically buried The Miz and Maurice, saying they aren't even in their level. And then Cena does classic Super Cena and wins the match. Well, what was the point? Okay, I get it. John Cena proposed to Nikki. Okay, it was a cool moment. I'm not complaining about that. But they could have still done that even if they lost. Which, you know, wouldn't have hurt The Miz. It would have helped The Miz. Wouldn't have hurt Cena. Wouldn't have hurt Nikki Bella if she retired afterwards. Seth Rollins versus Triple H. Can we be honest, guys? This match was boring. It had its moments. But frankly, and again, this is the issue with modern WWE, I expected a lot more out of this match. Whether Seth Rollins' injury is legit or at work, I don't care. But if you're going to have the match on the card, it should be better than this. Because it was literally Triple H targeting the knee for like 20 minutes. Okay, fine. With Triple H losing, Triple H kind of looks like a nincompoop. Because for one, he has Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe at his beck and call, and he didn't use them. And two, he's fighting a guy with one fucking leg. Okay. We had Randy Orton beating Bray Wyatt. Now, okay, remember for like a month now, 2 months now, whenever Bray Wyatt won the title, and I kept saying, no, it doesn't make any sense, because you know Orton's just going to take the belt back. And what happened? Now, I'm going to ask you guys this again. I've asked this multiple times. Would you have been happier if Bray Wyatt won the Royal Rumble and Randy Orton won the title of Elimination Chamber? This way at WrestleMania, Bray Wyatt begins his first world title reign. It's a bigger thing. It's a bigger spectacle. Hell, then when he played these mind games and fucking lost, it wouldn't have been as big of a deal. Just stupid. Really stupid. And the fact of the matter is, I don't even like Bray Wyatt. But you have him play these mind games and he loses? He loses. So basically, Randy Orton continued doing what he's been doing for months now, which was playing the Wyatt family, just using their push to get whatever he wants. It's a Cena move. Okay, anyway, we got Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. Okay, so I'm not going to complain about this match. Because for what it was, it did good. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was good as the spectacle match it was supposed to be. No complaints. We had the SmackDown Women's title match, Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, Natalya, Carmella, and Becky Lynch. There we go. And frankly, it felt rushed, maybe because they gave 25 minutes to Seth Rollins and Triple H for Triple H to target his knee. Okay, but frankly, the match, okay. I can't complain, really. Naomi winning, I guess, makes sense. I can't complain. Then we had Roman Reigns beating The Undertaker. And again, I think towards the end of the show, they started getting things right. Because while this match was kind of boring, and the fans are completely hijacking this and hating Roman Reigns more than ever, if the company steers into the skid, that's fine. And I won't complain about Roman Reigns winning. And I'm not going to complain about Roman Reigns winning either way. Because The Undertaker is my favorite wrestler of all time. He's the reason I started watching. And Roman Reigns is a big reason I continue watching at this point. So I'm fine with this. And the fact Taker's going to retire is good. Because he can't put on these matches anymore. Okay, especially now with somebody like Roman Reigns who can't carry a match anyway.